on this computer.
There we go.
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
Yeah, I got
Thank
it.
you for that. Yeah, so we don't have anything for pitch charting specifically now. We used to have Yacker Tech, which is kind of similar to, TrackMan and all those other things where they put like the cameras on your dugout and across the field, and it gives you that kind of information. They got bought out recently, and we just no longer went with them because it was pretty flawed. Like it didn't work very much for us. Um, in terms of like hitting spray charts, we have, I don't remember the app, but it's kind of similar to Game Changer, where we input lineups. We just put in like exactly what happens: ball, strike, in play, ground ball, line drive, fly ball, tap on the screen where it hits, tap who all handled the ball on a play. So pretty simple stuff. And that's what we've been doing for years, like as long as I can remember, from us, like from when I got here my freshman year in 2020 to obviously now when I'm coaching. Um, and I don't know if we pay for that service. I just know we usually do it on the iPad. It doesn't take internet to run. So we don't have the hassle of bringing a hotspot with us all the time, which is nice. But that's really what we use now to track like lineup changes, hitting spray charts, which is great when conference tournament comes around because it'll have the history when you pull up their names and stuff.
Right.
But that's kind of what we're doing right now.
Okay. So the way that I put this thing together is one, it can be run from a tablet,
Hmm.
but it is kind of designed and laid out to run from your phone.
Okay.
So you could just run it from your cell phone service, obviously. So
Hmm.
that's kind of like when we're looking at this screen, you kind of see how the margins are tight. They're tight just because it lays out better. Yet you don't want to on a phone.
Right.
So what I'll do is I'll show you. This is the Point Pleasant page that my son's on. So
Hmm.
basically what you do, you go through, you just add teams to your schedule, and then, from like to just kind of look at it, uh, we played these guys the other night. So that this Elkins kid, you just go right here to the stat chart, and then what pulls up is it shows like all the pitches that he's seen,
Hmm.
whether it be one game, 10 games, whatever, and then it shows the balls that were put in play that we got him out, and
Okay.
then you click that, and then it shows that's the full pitch sequence. So if
Okay.
it was a 2-1 count, it would show the full count there. But obviously, well, there's a so he change up, swing and miss, slider, swing and miss, and then he grounded out on a fastball down and in. Um,
Hmm.
and then also, you got your successful hits. So he did double the other night, kind of the same way, slider, swing and miss, and then fastball up, mid up, he doubled on.
Hmm.
And then, also that shows everything right here as well. So it shows the location, kind of everything you were saying. But the one thing that I think that we're a little bit different is we do give that pitch sequence that's right, at the click of your finger. Um,
Right.
and then also, it'll give the tendencies here, kind of, just kind of the foundation stats, and then it gives, the swing discipline, swing percentage, contact, chase, uh, and then hit types, fastballs or
Hmm.
ground balls, fly balls, quality, and then the spray direction to show whether he's pulling or opposite, whatever. Uh, Now I am in the process of so this is like a detailed heat map, and kind of my dream of this thing is for it to be kind of like a Major League Baseball scouting report,
Right.
um, but it's just going to take some data, and so it's kind of a work in progress. But my goal here is for this to like be hot area, cold area, like shaded.
Hmm.
That way you can just quick get a quick view of what they're doing, and then this section will be the kind of the same way, but it would be based on like pitch count. Like, okay, what's he chasing
Hmm.
0-2? What's he, where's he swinging at on the first pitch? That kind of
Right.
thing. So you got those three areas, as far as looking at it like say you're preparing to play these guys tonight, you could go into this opponent page and and take a look at that stuff.
Hmm.
Um, then from a pitching standpoint, um, let me find this guy through the other night. So it kind of this thing will do the foundation stats again. We do it does not track runs, earned run average. We just kind of focus on the pitch, that the hitter, that type of stuff.
Right.
So then you do get your total pitch counts, your workload, which is your just showing 3 day, 7 day, 14 day pitch counts, just from
Hmm.
the management side of it. And then you go down to this pitch mix section, and it kind of gives a good breakdown on the types of pitches. Like, here's all his stats and what they're doing against his changeup, his fastball, with a percentage of like what pitch he's throwing more. So it just kind of gives a good detailed look at, individual pitches. Uh, and then here's kind of a location heat map that, again, is for all the pitches. And then, you can just click and see, per pitch what's showing, or, what
Hmm.
he's doing and what location. And then it shows a total spray chart against. Uh,
Okay.
so that's every ball that's been put in play against this pitcher. You can go up and like individually, yeah, say you're playing these guys tonight, and what did Alex Dent do against Gavin Barnett? Well, right there's the two things that he did. There's how we pitched him. There's the result.
Gotcha.
Um, and and then again, this would show all teams, but I've only got one team in here with stats right now, which is why it's doing that.
Hmm.
And then also a per count or by count breakdown of, so you can get a good idea of, all right, what are we doing? How are we pitching with this guy? First pitch, fastball, changeup, all the way through to what are we throwing? 1-2, 2-0. Are they swinging? Are they not swinging? So it just kind of gives you a good idea of what per count, and
Hmm.
then and then just a log, an appearance kind of line there. But
Gotcha.
that's kind of what it. That's everything that it tracks for you. Then if we go in, let me try to. Okay, so I'll add a game today against Scott, which is that's the team we were just looking at. And
Hmm.
all right, so then that game will just populate there, and then you just hit start. So then the game will come in this way, and then obviously you set your lineup. It's you can just drag and drop the lineup. Um, if you need to edit anything or whatever, and then there's your subs as far as putting like if there's a pinch hitter or whatever during the game. But
Okay.
so this is kind of the screen, like if you're getting ready to start a game that you'll see on your phone, and the way it's set up is it's just fastball up and away, ball one.
Okay.
That so curveball here, strike swing, and then let's say fastball up and in, and then ball in play. So then let's say he hit a fly ball to right field. So it's just out, fly ball, mark the location, mark hit type, say
Hmm.
medium, and then opposite, and log ball in play. Now so then that will populate, but then also you see the stat button right here. So as this guy's coming up, you can click that, and that screen populates right there for you. So this is everything we've threw at him for however many games you've played. So it won't just be that game; it'll be a collection of data.
Gotcha.
And then every ball we've got him out on. This that here's how we struck him out. All right, swinging, change up, ball, change up, fastball, swinging, and a change up, swinging. That's how we struck him out. So
Hmm.
all that will be just right there, clickable. As you're logging it. And then also this live stats and spray charts down here just kind of gives you a game, like we just, he recorded an out. So, he's got point 0.1 innings.
Right.
It gives you the game pitch mix, game location chart, game spray chart, and again, just and then the sequence of how we pitched him. So another thing too, you see the dotted line right here around this.
Yeah.
So if he's got other hits, they would populate here and show, and then that green dotted line is what he's did today.
Okay.
So that way, and if you highlight, you kind of see right there in that little bar it says today. So that way,
Gotcha.
what he did today. And and then the other kind of thing that we did that I think will help is, so when you're in, so say you got somebody, your pitching coach logging the game, and you got somebody else that's wanting to kind of stay in tune. We have this headquarter page right here.
Hmm.
So what the headquarter page is it's exactly the same thing as the game day page, but it just doesn't score. It populates every 3 seconds.
Gotcha.
But like, say you're at the end of the dugout keeping this, keeping it, I can sit there and I can look at that, the exact info, who's coming up, and, I can position outfielders or whatever based off of, the same app and the same thing that you're running. So you could have, 8 guys
Gotcha.
on their phone looking at the same info, to be doing different jobs, whether, it's moving infielders around or outfielders or whatever. Uh,
Hmm.
and then at any time too, you can go to that full lineup right here, and say that you're looking ahead. All right, what do we got coming up next inning? Boom, stats. I mean, you can pull the stats for anybody that's in the lineup.
Gotcha.
And then the same live stats that we just looked at in game day is available there too. Uh, but and so and then back. Let me go back to game day here. So the one thing I did here, not so much probably in your guys' situation, but if high school coaches are running this and say they got and argue a call or something and miss a couple batters, all you got to do is like to fix it. All you got to do is correct the outs with a plus or minus here. And if you would need to
Hmm.
change the inning for whatever reason, and then in manage lineup, you can hit that set button right there, and that will put him at bat. So say you would miss a batter or 2 batters or whatever, you can just reset the thing, and then first pitch it locks all the changes in and then just starts fresh from there. But like I said, from
Nice.
your guys' standpoint, you got a lot more
Um,
bodies than one or two coaches, at the high school level. So that might not be as
right.
a necessity for you as it is for some of the high school teams that are using it. Um, and
Right.
then each account, uh, you can see each account you can get up to 20 members. I can increase that if need be, but like, so one person, the $199 account, and then you can invite up to 20 people that can have access the same way that that we're looking at it now. And could get
Hmm.
say even if your pitchers are on it, right? They could look at whoever they're pitching against tonight, today, today on their phone. They could go over whenever they wanted.
Gotcha.
And then also, like I said, you get however many coaches you would want on it in the dugout, that could go, because that HQ page could open 8 times, 8 different people at the same time and should run fine.
Hmm. Nice. I like that. In the game day thing, would it like when we're at bat, would we be able to go in and like see the pitch tracking and like tendencies of the opposing team's pitchers as well, kind of how we can see ours? Like I think you showed that in there, but I just wanted
Well,
to
so the
confirm.
way the way this one is set up is it is just tracking your pitchers, their hitters. I'm
Hmm.
in the process of building another one because all I got to do with it is make the opponents the pitchers, and you know what I mean, and hitters instead of
Yeah.
pitchers. So I'm in the process of doing that. It is not built yet. It's probably a week away.
Oh, okay.
So you could have like bullpen IQ to run your defense side, and then where the other one where I think I'm going to call it dugout IQ. That it's the exact same app. It's just
Hmm.
the opponents are pitchers, and so you're going to get everything exactly the same, but it would just be two apps running. One guy running one guy running the other.
Gotcha.
And I am
Okay. Yeah.
curious as far as your that Yacker tech that you talked about, like with the video, what all was you running into with flaws there? Because and
So
I'll tell you why. I built an app that is I stopped because I was trying to compete with Game Changer at the high school level. And what
hmm
I want to do is have video score it all. But from the way that I'm seeing it, you kind of got I mean, it's going to take about 100 sample games to really get it, running properly. Because the way that I looked at it is like, the video running it, and then you almost need someone telling it what just happened over and over and over. And then
Yeah.
basically, then it's able to work properly.
Yeah, the issues with the Yak Tech were they weren't necessarily video cameras, but like they were cameras and they'd be on the dugout, but they were fixed to like there were two cameras facing the mound and two cameras facing like the batter's box. And so if like the dugout moved, if there was really strong winds, like the cameras could adjust ever so slightly off base to where they needed to be, so that they wouldn't read any of the data correctly. So a guy that's normally throwing maybe 87, 88 miles an hour, it could misread it as 84 consistently because the cameras had shifted. Or they like there would be times it wouldn't pick up any left-handed hitters at bats whatsoever. Like if they were putting fouling balls off, putting balls in play, it wouldn't register that the ball was hit at all. It may not even register the pitch. Um, so those were like the inconsistency issues we had with the Yacker Tech. And they recently got bought out. And like I said, we aren't with them anymore. But we were playing at a conference game 2 weeks ago, and that team was still with them. And I was asking them about it. And they said, even though they've been bought out by this bigger company, like nothing's been changed. Like it's still the same issues where the cameras that are fixed to the dugout, like if you throw plyo balls against it, or again, if there's a strong wind or anything happens to where it can shift the cameras and they do get moved, you may not realize it until it gets significantly bad. And then if you can't fix it yourself, like you have to wait for them to send a Yacker technician out to fix it, and that can take Lord knows how long. I mean, I had to spend a couple hours on phone calls with them sometimes before we just gave up, and they sent somebody out a week later, and so that's a week we don't get it in practice. And the other thing too is we couldn't use it in the bullpen. So obviously your app again is more game situated, but for what we would have liked to do as well, it's fixed to the game mound and the game plate. So if we wanted to track our guys' information in a bullpen like a Rapsodo or a TrackMan or something, we didn't have that option. We would have to have them throw off the game mound in practice for that to happen.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because and the other thing too that you're talking about the wind is and the research I've done, I mean, like a 32nd of an inch, like once you
Hmm.
set it, I mean, can change it 4 or 5 mile an hour.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So but that's um, my goal is to have something comparable to that for next season. But and for it to be all through AI, that
Hmm.
basically if you got your camera, so what it would do is if your camera set there and say, let's say it shifts an inch,
Hmm.
and then when you go live, the very first thing that it does is it will find the front of the rubber and find the front of the plate, see the distance, and then do the calculations that it needs to be able to read the pitch and calculate the velocity correctly.
Gotcha.
So yeah, because like when they set those fixed cameras, they punch that information in and they say, hey, point A, point B, and then now that thing just shifts just a little, and that distance
Yeah,
is
it's
different,
completely.
and then it throws everything off.
Hmm.
AI is a great thing, but but yeah, one little change or missed prompt or anything like that can, definitely throw it uh, to where it's giving you false results. Not the one thing that I am working on is I am working on just being able to do uh, velocity with
Hmm.
this app. Um, and what it would be is it would just be another button right here, and you would just have the one camera that's
Hmm.
that would link to it, and the only thing that camera would do would be just track velocity. Um, so that is an upgrade that is coming probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks, but
Hmm.
I do not have it up yet. So, like,
Okay.
if you wanted to do any kind of velocity, there's the one simple thing I could just put, when you're logging, when you're in here logging game, I could right here put velocity where you could just manually type it in. If you had
Right.
somebody blocking it or whatever.
Right.
So,
No,
do
I
you
get.
have any questions, thoughts, or is there something on there that you guys have that it's not showing?
No, the only question I really had after you showed me like the demo and everything was just about the pitching side for the other team on being able to track their pitches and locations and stuff. That was my only real question. The other one I would have is I know you mentioned that if we get in soon enough, like it would be $100 a season for like life basically. I just wanted to see when or how long that offer stands, what that kind of looks like, just so that I can send this all to our other coaches and give them the timetable of how long we have until at least that specific offer is off the table.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is, that's just it's like a founder's rate that
Right.
and the other thing where this is a new app, like last night, for instance, Fielder's choices weren't populating in the pitcher stats as for like like a .1 inning pitch.
Hmm.
So so if you do get on and start running this, I'll give you my cell phone number, and if there's anything that we've got about 100 games right now under it, and it seems to be running very smooth. But if there is anything comes up, you'll have my direct number, and I will do the fix or the update immediately. But and then as far as like for the hitters, that is something that I was trying to get this thing to where it is running exactly the way I want it.
Hmm.
Because then really all I've got to do is kind of copy all the code and just change the layout. But
Right.
I didn't want to do that and then while I'm working these kinks out here, you see what I mean? Then I'm going to have to work the same ones out over there rather than just get this one where I know it is working 1,000% right and then copy it and then change that layout. And like I
Yeah.
said, I mean, I'm 99.9% confident right now. Like I said, it's got about 100 games under its belt. And the last night there were 7 games ran on it, and the only thing that I caught was that fielder's choice, but everything else ran perfectly fine.
Gotcha. Yeah, the only reason I mentioned that specifically, like what we use now, again, we can't pitch track on it, but what we do is, we just run like the entire game log in there from the offensive and defensive side. So it doesn't give us pitch tracking or charting or anything, but we can know how many, pitches the other team is at or what their guy is, and everything like that. So I just wanted to know if it was all in this one app. With the second app coming out at some point, would that be an additional like $100 fee or whatever the price is at that point as well?
So what I would do, and it's kind of like so I've got this set up for like softball as well, for instance.
Hmm.
So what I've been doing is if you're doing two, I do it for 150.
Okay, I got you.
So yeah, so like 149 would get you the the bullpen app and then the dugout app as well.
Okay. No, that's not bad. And then how long again did you say that 100 or that 99 or
Oh
that
yeah,
99
yeah, I
minutes
didn't get to
call?
that. Sorry. Yeah. So there's 47 of the hundred spots that I kind of advertised. Um,
Hmm.
it has, uh, we we went from 13 to like 25, and then yesterday went from 25 to 47. Uh,
Okay.
so it's picking up, but like I said, I mean, I really just started trying to market the thing on Monday because I
Mhm.
didn't want to get it all the way out there until I had something that I knew was the way I wanted it.
No, I mean, I when I graduated from Georgetown, I had a marketing degree. So, like, for you to have really that kind of jump in like less than half a business week is insane. So, like, that's awesome. But no, I will. I don't think I have any other questions. If when I send this to the other coaches on the staff and anything, if they have questions, I can give them your email, or I will send them to myself on email or the field level app or anything like that, just to
They
get in
so
touch with
they
you.
actually suspended my account on field level yesterday, um,
Oh,
where I sent in which I'm trying to get it open back up. So just send me just send me an email, and when I send you this recording, I'll send you my cell phone number as well.
okay.
So that way you can just reach out that way. But it literally, I mean, if you logged in right now and you had a game at 3 o'clock, I mean, you could. I mean, oh, the one thing I will show you here too that is pretty slick. So like when you go to add a team,
Hmm.
and let's just say Georgetown, or not there, Georgetown, and so when you go in here to add rosters or to add the players, you just click this photo button right there. And if you take a picture of their lineup card and give it about 2 minutes, it will have
Hmm.
the lineup with the subs. So everything will import straight from taking a picture of the lineup card.
Oh, that's sick. That's really nice and
Yeah,
easy.
and then two, if there is somewhere that you guys like have logs or like rosters, because the way I've got it set up for the high school teams is I use Max Preps. So
Hmm.
you can just pull their Max Preps page up and then import that link right there and hit import, and it splits the roster in.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so there's actually two ways to to import it. That way you're not sitting there trying to punch a lineup in 5 minutes before a game. You just snap a picture and it's in. And then
Yeah, no, that's
as far as like you're in the live, too, like if there's a pinch hitter, I mean, all you do is just click the add button and then click who he replaces, and then the pinch hitter's in.
okay.
So
No, that's pretty simple.
yeah, yeah, and like I said, I did as far as running it, we tried to make it as simple as possible. You can go in here to the edit, and the TN add a logo or whatever if you want. Uh,
Hmm.
oh, I did not show you the reports. I don't think, did I?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so when you end the game, you can hit this report button right here. Will show up, and what it'll do is it'll give you the total pitches, and then you'll see like per pitcher, it will give you the all of his percentages here, pitch types, uh, and then it also gives you the pitch map for each pitcher, right-handers, left-handers per pitch type. And then this is just the same thing for different pitchers. And then at the bottom, you'll get a spray chart per hitter and with the sequences showing. So I know some people still like having the papers. So, you could
Hmm.
print that out. Then the next, like, let's say a double header, the second game, someone can have that printout, looking at it. But it shows, like I said, every sequence for every hitter, every ball in play, where they walked, struck out, uh, everything on a report that you can export to a PDF so you can email it or print it, whatever you need to do afterwards.
Nice.
But like I said, that populates immediately as soon as you hit end game, uh, and then you can share that or save that or whatever. But it's always there too. So say the next time we play Scott, I mean, all I got to do in the schedule is just hit that report and it pops up.
Nice.
So
No, that's really great. Yeah, we don't have anything like that right now.
yeah, but then so realistically, like the thoughts behind this app was all those stacks of papers, you know, that happens, and now it's in. I mean, obviously, it's a pretty lengthy report. I think they're usually about 30, 35 pages, but it's clean. All the hitters, everything's together, for each hitter. And yeah, it's that's like one of the I can't believe I about forgot to show you that because that's kind of like one of the best things about it.
Yeah. One last question I have. You said that the 99 whatever would be good for the season. So would that just be the like January to June or whatever for us college guys, or is that
Well, what
technically the
I
full year?
yeah, so what I'll do is just run it a calendar year.
Okay.
I know we're a little late getting started for you guys. So what we would do is it would be due like in February or something like that of next year. But yeah, you could run it through spring and fall, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Uh, and
Yeah, so
and
because
the
we do a lot of inter squads and stuff in the fall.
and the other thing too that the plan is where this is year one, but like when you go next year, it would have 2026 stats.
Okay.
So when you're playing a junior this year that's a senior next year, that those junior stats will populate, in those spray charts and all that. So that way you'll get a good data, pool for them. So you won't be starting fresh each season.
Oh, that's great. Actually, that's awesome.
And yes,
Um,
what I'll do is when that happens is I'll have those spray charts highlighted some way or one color that it'll show like this is the 26 season and this is the 27. You know what I mean? That way you
right.
can
Yeah.
see the difference. But that way, I mean, most hitters' tendencies carry over from year to year. Uh,
Right. No, but no, other than that, I don't think I have any other questions. Just need the recording whenever you get a chance to send that over, and then I will talk with like I said, the other two coaches and hopefully get their thoughts on it pretty soon so we can get back to you.
okay, yeah, and like I said, you can because I think right now on there. Uh, where I had so many people signing up and I was giving them that coupon code. I just changed it to $99 a month right now. So you don't
Right.
need the coupon code or anything.
Okay.
But even if you wanted, you could sign up for that free trial and, after you show them the video and then you guys can do some test games or whatever and try it out to help make your decision as well.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I will talk with them today. Make sure they watch the video as soon as we can. We got a bus ride to middle of nowhere, Tennessee tomorrow. So hopefully we can do it by then.
Okay.
And no, I'll get back to you as soon as we have a decision with it. But I appreciate you showing me this and answering all the questions, man.
Okay. All right, man. Have a good one. And like I said, I'll shoot you an email here soon as soon as the video downloads, and then I'll put my cell phone number in there as well, and you can
Sure.
just reach out that way when you can let me know what you think.
All right. Thank you very much. You have a good one.
All right, you too.
Bye.